What's up guys, it's Matt from TDM Style here and welcome back to the channel. Now today we're here for another hair product review and this time we're talking about Texture Clay by Moroccanoil. Now, as you guys probably all know by now, I am a pretty big fan of Moroccanoil products in general. I mean, I love their shampoos and conditioners, their hairspray, their dry shampoo, and the Texture Clay is something that my hairstylist has used on me a number of times to style my hair, but I just never had one for myself. So I was actually pretty excited to pick this up so I could really test it out and see what this stuff can do. Now, from the description on the outside of the box and also on the company website, they're calling this a moldable clay that you can use to sculpt and define natural looks with a matte finish and strong hold. Now, this is a water-based clay, and the key ingredients are argan oil, shea butter, and bentonite clay. So they're saying that basically this is going to give you a non-sticky, non-greasy finish that is going to give you a lot of texture and also is going to help control frizz. So taking a look at the packaging first, this does come inside of this little cardboard box with that kind of classic Moroccanoil light blue color with the orange M on top. And on the underside of the box, you've got the list of ingredients. And then around the sides, you've got a little bit of the description of how the product is supposed to work, as well as the instructions for how to use it. Inside the box, you'll find this 2.6 ounce or 75 milliliter plastic jar, again in those classic Moroccanoil colors that you find on all their products. So I don't know, what is that, turquoise and white with the orange M. So admittedly, I'm not super wild about the packaging. I mean, it looks fine, but I'm just more of a dark color type of person. And I think my main gripe with it is that this looks like the type of jar that you would get like 3.5 ounces of product in, but when you open it, you can see it's a little bit smaller, so you're really only getting 2.5 ounces, but it is what it is, I guess. Now, the smell, on the other hand, love it. Love the smell. It's the classic signature Moroccanoil scent that literally all of their products smell like, and I really honestly have no idea how to describe it. If you've never smelled a Moroccanoil product, there's nothing else smells quite like it. I think it smells great. It's very unisex, but it's just, I don't know. The first time I ever smelled it was when my stylist used the shampoo and conditioner on me in the salon, and I was like, oh my God, this smells like heaven. And I still think that, like years later, it smells great. Now, it is a pretty strong scent, especially for a clay, and it does stick around for a little while. So, I mean, for me, that's totally fine because I love the smell, but if you're not too keen on scents, just something to be aware of. Now, as far as the texture and the scoop goes, this stuff comes out of the jar very easily. It's just super soft, very creamy. It breaks down effortlessly in the hands, and it doesn't really feel sticky at all. Now, in terms of the actual application and styling, I thought we'd go a little bit more of a demo route for this video, so I'm gonna go ahead and wash and dry my hair, and that way I can show you exactly how this behaves in freshly cleaned hair, and then we'll come back again tomorrow, actually, and I'll apply some more into second day hair, so we can take a look at that as well. All right, guys, so we're back with freshly washed and dried hair, fresh shirt as well, but never mind that. So now let's take a look at how this stuff styles into clean hair. So I am going to start with a pretty small fingertip amount like the product suggests, because I've noticed that with this, much like Morris Motley and other similar bentonite heavy clays, I guess, that if I use too much in one go, it can be a little bit too volumizing, and with my coarse hair type, that translates into tangly ends. But if I start with just a little bit, I don't have that problem at all. I've actually got quite a smooth application with like basically no tug or pull whatsoever. All right, so we'll go in with a second small scoop here. Applying the second scoop, you can definitely feel the grippiness, more so than the first. And, you know, as I mentioned, for me with a coarser hair type, that does translate into a little bit of that tangly ends feeling. But, I mean, you can see now that, well, it's even off the camera, the hold is starting to kick in. All right, so I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I mean, it's definitely a very matte finish. The hold is definitely setting in at this point. I mean, my hair still has quite a bit of movement right now, but the product definitely is not totally dry yet either, so the hold will come into play a little bit more as it continues to set. But like I said, I'm pretty happy with how this came out, and so I'll check back in a bit later. We'll see how it held up throughout day 1. We'll see what it looks like at the beginning of day 2, and then we'll probably end up adding a little bit more and see how that works out for the rest of day 2. Alright guys, so it's now been several hours, and as you can see, hair's holding up pretty well. The volume is still in there pretty much. I don't think I'd really call this exactly a strong hold at the moment. I think it's a really solid medium to medium firm, which I feel like could be a strong hold if I layered like another small scoop in or something. But I really like the finish. It's very matte. It's definitely pliable, so I can still like mess with it and move it around if I want to. And, you know, definitely not feeling oily or anything. So it's late and I'm gonna go to bed, and then we'll see how this looks in the morning for day 2 styling. What's up guys? Alright, so it's the next morning, and as you can see, I'm not in front of my camera setup because I'm running a little bit late, as I often do in the morning. But anyway, you can see that the volume held up pretty well, and most of that tangly ends feeling has gone. There is still a little bit in there, so I'm kind of reluctant to add a little bit more, if I'm honest, but for the sake of science, I will add a bit more because, you know, as you can see, the hold has dropped off slightly. So I am gonna add just a little bit more and see what happens. Okay, so, I mean, this is amplifying that tangly feeling slightly. It's not unbearable. It's also not great. But I feel like I don't really have to work it in all that much. So I'm essentially done at this point. I'm just gonna kind of shape it a little bit, and then we'll be on our way, and I will check back in at the end of the day and see how we're doing then. Alright, so it's been about 9-10 hours, I think, and it's a windy day too. So I think all things considered, held up pretty well. Putting that extra bit in this morning definitely did increase the hold. So still very matte too. Didn't really get any, you know, oilier or anything. So not too bad. Alright guys, so as you saw there, the hold actually can be pretty decent on this stuff as long as you do layer it in. And I like the hold level. I don't know if I'd really call it a strong hold. I mean, as I mentioned, the more you use, the stronger the hold becomes for sure. So if you use just a little bit, it'll be definitely like a light, medium hold. And if you use more than that, it does become stronger. I don't know if I'd really call it strong, though. I'd probably call it more of a medium firm because it still has some movement to it, but I actually like that because I don't tend to like products that are like super strong, glue your hair in place type of hold. I like my hair to feel and look a bit more natural, have some movement to it, have some bounce still, and I don't mind sacrificing a bit of hold to have that sort of feel to it. In terms of washing it out, this is a water-based clay, and honestly, it does come out pretty easily with just water, which is really nice, because that's kind of hard to find in a clay, I think. Alright, and lastly, we can talk about price. So this comes in at $26 US for 2.6 ounces, and now that is from Moroccanoil's actual website. You can find it cheaper sometimes in other places, like I got this one on Amazon for, I think, $19, so you might be able to find it cheaper every now and then, although it seems like the price fluctuates a bit unless you're buying it directly from Moroccanoil for the 26. Alright, so overall thoughts on the Moroccanoil Texture Clay. I like it. It's not my favorite, but I do think that there's a lot to like about it. On the con side of things, I don't care for the application, and that's just, I'm pretty sure that's to do with just my hair type because it's thick and coarse. So with that bentonite clay and other products that have things that kind of volumize and like plump your hair follicles up, those all have this same kind of tangly ends effect on me while I'm applying it. And the other con is really the price, I think. I think that this is pricey for what it is, and for the amount that you get. You know, I like it, and I realize Moroccanoil is a massive, massive salon brand. I mean, they're in salons everywhere. A lot of professionals use them, and I mean, they make good stuff. And typically it is on the pricier side, so I think $26 for this is like what I would expect from Moroccanoil. but that doesn't mean I have to be happy about it. I mean, it's 2.6 ounces of product, and you know, we're used to paying like $20 for that amount, or even a lot of products now, especially home brews and some other things. There, you pay like 17 to 20 bucks for like 3.5 or 4 ounces, so you get a lot of bang for your buck. And this, I mean, you just get less for your dollar. So I know you guys usually ask about comparisons, so if I was going to make a direct comparison to this for something that has a similar effect, honestly, I think that this is basically a more affordable version of Morris Motley. I mean, in my opinion, this product and Morris Motley produce basically the same exact texture and matte finish and overall look to your hairstyle, and they both have that same amount of hold, where if you use a little bit, it's a lighter hold, and if you layer it in, it becomes a stronger hold. Overall, I basically get the same exact styling result and look with this that I would get with Morris Motley, and for like $20 less. Alright guys, so that does it for this review. I hope that you enjoyed it and found it helpful and informative. I was actually planning on doing another sort of triple threat hair compare video this week, but I just didn't have the time, unfortunately. But that is coming up soon. I also have another product revisit video that I want to do. So if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit that button so you can stay up to date with all that upcoming content. And as always, thanks so much for coming by and watching, and we'll see you at the next one.